fucking drive!
Anything doesn't mean you have to say really stupid shit, which is out there as well.
It's a real delicate line, right? It's that fine line. So how do you balance on that line without going overboard and really upsetting people?
I hope I just made smart jokes that come from maybe a different place that aren't out there already. Like, it's more like a commentary on how you joke about stuff, a little bit, And I have some questionable jokes in my show, but I'm as interested in thinking about like how comedy works and what we can and can't say as I am about just only talking about that. So I just kind of used that because of the climate to not only question what we can joke about, but also put some other jokes out there. Like, there are a lot of dudes doing rape jokes that I think are gross and not clever. That's their prerogative. They can do them all night long. But I think mine are a little different.
Well, I think coming from a female, too, is different. I don't think certain comedians don't need to go there. It's not necessary. I think they go there for the shock value, just to kind of just say, well, everyone's doing this and everything like that. But when you chose rape, were there any other subjects that were delicate to talk about that you were going to go down, or was this the one you wanted?
I think this was the one I wanted because it was on my mind anyway, and I find like there's so much talk around it and like legislation around it and stupidity around it that's like really fertile ground for making fun of to me. Like the nimrods out there who are making really lazy jokes about it are and who think they're really edgy. That's hilarious to me.
Are these politicians or comedians?
Both. That said, there's also some comedians out there making jokes about rape that I think are really sharp and progressive and funny from a political point of view and a comedic point of view. But, I touch on, like, race and other topics that you're not supposed to joke about in my show, just to sort of say, like, oh, God, who gets nervous about what,
So how long has the show been going on?
Just about a year. I finished it and took it to Edinburgh Fringe last August.
That's really cool. Good for you on that. So obviously it drew a lot of buzz right off the bat. I mean, have you upset any people coming to the show? Have any people walked out on you?
Not really. It's a pretty, it might be hard to believe, but it's a pretty lighthearted show. I do it with no pants on. So I wear a shirt and some shoes, but nothing else. A little makeup. Which is also sort of, there's a couple layers in that because it's called asking for it. So that's sort of an asking for it type outfit, but it's also a really ridiculous looking costume, so it's funny.
Yeah, I'm reminded of George Carlin had a really big bit about rape and how you can make fun of it, thinking I think there's more rape at the South or the equator than there is in the North Pole, or vice versa, whatever it was. And he balanced around it, and it was really funny, really smart, obviously too. So when you're going that direction, especially saying on you're nude on stage or half nude on stage. Asking for it is pretty much like kind of a common bottom denominator, I think, for people to think about when women do get raped in situations where they were asking for this and that. So about that, I mean, how what going in that direction, asking for it, what was that for you as far as like trying to go in that angle?
Well, I think, and I think most women know and smart men know that idea is completely retarded. And the easiest way one could prove that is you could go like in India, where women don't drive, they don't, some women don't drive, they don't party, they don't go out, they're dressed from head to toe, and they get raped like crazy. So like that, there's nothing true about that. So I was trying to make an outfit that was, provocative and gimmicky for sure, and ludicrous, because I'm a goofball. And also sort of going, well, here I am. Look, I'm all gussied up. I'm a good time girl. I drink on stage, as most comedians do. Not all, but and I'm dancing around and flirty and having a good time. So in theory, that could get me in a whole lot of trouble by the end of my show.
Have you been?
But it's really only going to get me in trouble if there's a rapist in my audience.
God.
It's not like I'm going to I can't rape myself. God knows I've tried, but I can't.
Well, I was just thinking, have you ever been approached by some guys after the show and like, hey, honey, let's get a drink or something?
It's pretty remarkable. One little consistent thing is I'll have a dude who will heckle me. It doesn't happen very often, but but it's consistent. It's the guy who will heckle me, and then I'll sort of have to dispatch of him pretty quickly, you know. And then that's always the guy who, when I come out, is like, "Hey, let me get you a drink," and you're like, dude, what world are you living in where you think you can heckle the rape lady and then she wants to spend a little more quality time with you? Like that was the airtight world of illusion that man's living in. Right. Like, all, props to him, because it must be good in there.
But doesn't that bother you though, that these guys just don't get it, and obviously this guy didn't get it.
Yeah, but I think a lot of guys do. I'm not saying like my show is like, now do you understand? Great, fellas, we're done. Right. No more rape. But I do think, like, whatever, I've used comedy since I was a little kid to diffuse situations, and I think a lot of comics know deep down that comedy can be the most brilliant way to talk about really awkward, heavy, weird shit. Like, most of the comics we consider the greats, they always tread in dodgy water.
Yeah, there's a lot of darkness in comedy, there's no doubt. So this show's...
I actually open my show with a quote from Carlin. He's projected on my belly, and my pubic hair is his beard. And it's and I open with a quote because I think he puts it out there with all his, First Amendment freedom of speech angle stuff. He really presents like, I can joke about anything, and that's sort of my point too. But I also say, but you don't have to be a fuckwit when you joke about it. Right. You could be smart.
That's really cool. I appreciate your time with me. No, it's okay. I'll edit that out. Do you want to send people to a website or anything?
Yeah, sure. AdrienneTruscott.com. I don't even know if it's up right now, but it's under construction. But, yeah. Hey, congratulations on driving from Phoenix. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was quite the drive.
I bet.
Yeah, it was good times. All right. Well, I appreciate it, Adrienne. Thank you so much. Absolutely. All right.